Hello and welcome to today's class. So in this class, we want to look at practice questions on value added tax and electricity bills, how to calculate VAT and electricity bill. So we'll start with the first question that says, Jubri bought a motorbike for 15,000 naira plus VAT. That is, apart from 50,000 naira, is going to pay tax on it, value added tax. So the rate of VAT was 5.5%. Calculate the amount he paid for the motorbike. So which means we need to calculate the VAT and we had it to 15,000 naira. So what we're going to do will be 5.5 divided by 100 multiplied by 15,000. So when by the time we multiply everything together, we're going to get 825 naira. So this will be added to 15,000 naira. That is 15,000 naira plus 825, and that gives us 15,825 naira. So that is this option here. So that's the first question. So move to the second question. All right. The second question is asking number two. A Nigerian used car costs 2,500,000, including VAT of at 7.5%. That is, this 2.5 million, in it there is value added tax. So the question I ask you to find the cost of the car. So the cost of the car, sometimes the question will not write excluding VAT, but what this means is that find the cost of the car without tax. So what are we going to do now? So which means, what that means that let's let the cost of the car, the cost of the car without VAT, without VAT be X. So we've known that one to be X, right? So that is X. That means X plus the VAT, which will be what? 7.5% of the cost of the car. 7.5 of X will give us 2.5 million. 2.5 million. So what are we going to do here? So this X plus 7.5%, which is 7.57 over 100. So that means this will give us 7 plus 0. Plus 0.075x equals to 2.5 million, right? 2.5 million. So if you add x, this is 1x plus 0.075x will give us 1.075x equals to 2.5 million. Right. Now, what we're looking for is X, which is the cost of the car without VAT. So we're going to divide both sides by 1.075. We divide this by, we also divide this one by 1.075. So by the time we do that, let me clean this board. So that means X will then be equal to 2.5 million divided by 1.075, and that will give us 2,325,581.3939. So approximately we'll round it up to 40. So that gives us option A, the first option here. The first option. Okay, that is correct. So that is the second question. Then move to number three. All right, question three is an extension of the question number two. So this one, after calculating the cost of the car without tax, without VAT. So the question, I find the VAT itself. So having known that the cost of the car is 2.325,501.40, then we need to calculate it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to subtract 2 million, 2.5 million, which is the one including tax, minus 2,325,805, sorry, 5 581.4. So we calculate that. So this gives us 175, 174 rather, 174. By the time we subtract 174,418.6. So approximately, so that is 174,419, and that is this option here. So that's that on that. Let's move to the next question. All right, question number 4. In a month, the reading on Mr. Yakub's meter changed from 43,368 to 44,728. The cost of electricity is 15 naira per unit. The demand charge is 150 naira and VAT at 7.5%. Calculate the number of units used. So in this one is asking you to calculate how many units used. That is the difference between the current reading, which is 44,721, minus the previous reading, which is 43,368. So by the time we subtract it, we're going to have 1,353 units. So that is this option. So the next question, we asked for that question on it. As you can see, it's an extension of it. So the same thing. So this one is asking you to calculate the cost of electricity. Cost of electricity. That means after getting the unit to be 1,353, so we need to calculate the cost of electricity, so which is 1,353 multiplied by unit per cost is what, 15 naira. So we multiply it and we have 20,000, 295. 295. Then that we're not going to stop there. So because, and the demand charge, because whether you like it or not, you pay demand charge, so it's part of it. So we had demand charge, which is 150. So we add it to it, and that gives us 20,445. 445. Add that to it. So that is cost of electricity used is 20,445, which is this. All right. So move to the next question. As you can see, this question 5 asks us to calculate the cost of electricity, not the total cost. But the sixth question is asking you calculate the total cost of electricity plus VAT. That is plus VAT. Some question will not put plus VAT there. You just calculate the total cost of electricity used. So what we're going to do, we stopped at the cost of electricity used, which is 20,444.45. Now, so we need to calculate VAT on this. So what is the VAT on it? We multiply it by 7.5%. That is 0.075. That's 75%. So we calculate that now, and that gives 1,533.375. That will be 38 kobo. So this is it. So we now going, this is the VAT. This is the VAT, right? This is the VAT. So the question now is, we are now going to add this to the cost of electricity, which is 20,444. So we add, this is plus 20,445. And let's see what we're going to have. So this gives us 21,978.38. That is 21,000 naira 978 then 38 kobo. So which is option, the first option here. So it will be the answer. All this is clear. All right. All right. Question number 7. A man received an electricity bill of 12,000 naira from PACN, including VAT of 7.5%. That is, this 12,000 naira, in it, there is VAT included in it. So, the demand charge is 440 naira. The cost per unit is 15 naira. So the question now is, calculate the number of units used to the nearest whole number. So the first thing we need to do is, let's calculate the cost of electricity without VAT. So you know that if the cost of electricity without VAT is X, let's represent with a letter, is X, then VAT will be added to it, that's plus 7.5% of this 7.5% of this X will give us how much? 12,000 naira. So if you understand this, then we can therefore calculate the value of X. So which means X plus 0.075x gives us 12,000, right? So that is 1.075x will be equal to 12,000. I hope I'm making sense. So we divide both sides by 1.0 1 point excuse me 1.075. We also divide this one by 1.075, right? So when you divide it, so let me clean this aspect. That means X equals 11,162 naira 79 kobo. Approximated everything. So this is what we have. This is the cost of electricity used. And in this one, don't forget that we have demand charge of 140. So demand charge is already inside this one. We are going to subtract demand charge, which is 140. So subtract demand charge, which is this, and this will give us 11,022 naira 79 kobo. Now, this is the cost of electricity used without VAT and without demand charge. So now, this means the number of units multiplied by the cost of unit, which is 15 naira, will give us this. Is that clear? So in that case, for us to now get the number of units used, we are going to divide this by 15 naira. So that means we divide this on divided by 15, sorry. So divided by 15, and this will give us 734.85. So approximately, because we can't have decimal in units, so used. So what we're going to have is 73735, which is this option. You can see the process. So we're working back. So that's what I did here. So you can try to look at it multiple times before you grab it. So that's all right. So let's move to the next question. All right. So just an extension of the previous question, question number 7. So demand charge is 140 naira. The cost per unit is 15 naira. So if the previous reading on the meter was 654,876 units, work out the current reading. So this is the previous one. So what will be the current? Now that we've known the the number of units used in that month. So we're going to have, that means 654,876 plus 735, and this will give us 655,611, right? So that is this option here. Is that clear? All right, move to the next question now. All right, question number 9. In a month, a man uses 700 units of electricity. The man charge is 150 naira and VAT at 5%. So what is the cost of electricity bill used? Take note, cost of electricity bill, not total cost used. If the first 250 units are charged at 15 naira and the rest at 10 naira. So the first thing we need to do is to calculate the cost of units before we add demand charge to it. So the first thing, the first 200, first 250, that will be 250 multiplied by 15, and that gives 3,700 and what 50 unit naira. Then the rest, out of 700, 250, so the rest will be 450. Just subtract 700 from 250 from 700 times 10. So this one will give us 4,500. Then we add everything together. This is 0, 5, then we have 2, then 8. So that is 8,250 for the cost of units alone. Then add demand charge. We add demand charge. The add demand charge plus demand charge. So demand charge of 150 naira. So everything will give us 8,400. 8,400. So that is the cost of electricity bill used for that month. So which is option C here. So let's look at the next question and see what we have there. Now the last question here. In a month, a man uses 700 units. Just the same thing. But what is the total cost of electricity bill used? You can see the total cost here. So including VAT. Now this question is even fair to have included tax. Some question will just write what is the total cost and they will not put including tax and VAT there. So if the first, we've read that one. So what we're going to do now, since we have calculated the cost of units used to be what 8,400. That's what we got the other time. Now the next is for us to add VAT to it. So add VAT. So the VAT will then be 5%, 5% of 8,400. So that is 0.05 multiplied by what 8,400. Then it will be added to this one. So when we calculate that, we're going to have 400 and what 20, and we find it, that will be what 8,800 and what 20 naira. So this will be the total cost of electricity used for that month. So that is option 8, option C rather, 8,820 naira. So that is that on in this video. This is where we're going to stop. And if you find this video useful and helpful, don't forget to what to give us a big thumb up. And not only that, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on your notification bell. So anytime I release video of this nature, you'll be able to get access to and some other videos that we have in the channel. So and don't forget also to share the video with your loved one so that everybody will benefit from it. And we'll meet in our next class. Bye for now.